Watch this. I'm going to try to go this way. Oh, I'm blockaded! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look, it even gives me the exclamation on my Minamoto. It's like, you're effed! Sorry, buddy! Wow. If you're able to go through. Oh, God, this guy's screwed. I'll let him through. I'll let you through. I don't know, piss that guy off. Look at all those T5 cavalry. He's even got a Richard the First with a bunch of cavalry. Okay. I'll let you through my bridge. But you can see, like, you could blockade. You could really wreck somebody, you know? Right? Like, got you. That's dastardly. I'll let you through. You can come through my bridge. Next time you have to pay the toll, though. Seriously. Your rally is 3k troops of T4. Hey, as long as it launches, it doesn't matter. Okay, can you block a rally? Here we go. Here we go. Oh, you can block a rally. And the rally will fight the troops. Okay. Okay. You fight the rally. You can block a rally. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today I want to tell you everything there is to know about blockades, a new mechanic in the Heroic Anthem power-up version of KvK. This is in the Season of Conquest only, and only in this version of KvK. So take a deep breath, but take it all in, because blockading is actually insane. And I thought in this new version of KvK, by the way, that everybody will be like all amped up about like these siege commanders and the arrow towers. No. No, that's nothing. That ain't nothing compared to blockades. So what is a blockade? When you send your march out of the city, okay? It's very straightforward. If they are not in the same coalition as you, okay? If they are not blue on the map, look at this. You can see one right now. You're blocked, baby. You're blocked. This guy's trying to go around this other player. This is not coordinated. This is just happening organically, okay? This guy he's turning around now. He's blocked. It's crazy. You physically block somebody else's troops. Now, he, in this instance, will block me from going through. See, I'm going to stop. As soon as I hit his march, I stop. As soon as his march is no longer blocking me, I carry on. Carry on, Mr. Chisgule. A blockade allows you to physically stop an enemy. And it's not just open field marches. It includes rallies. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be an enemy. These guys are in the same war camp as us. And we can blockade them as well. If they are not blue, they ain't getting through. With some exceptions, but that's probably a bug more than anything else, and they'll probably fix that. But let's talk about the mechanics of a blockade, because there is a new menu in this version of KvK only where you set your troops to peaceful or aggressive. If you're peaceful, then when you get blockaded, you chill. When somebody comes up to your blockade, you chill. You just stand there. You go aggressive, things flip around. You immediately start fighting whoever came up and stepped up to you, you know? It's what they get for stepping up on you, right? No way you start fighting if you flip this to aggressive. Okay? Yeah, and it even tells you, attacking a blockading enemy in aggressive mode will activate War Frenzy and cancel your Peace Shield. Right? Aggressive mode means you're fighting, which means you can't Peace Shield. This is very important. This is all important context, because this new mechanic makes KvK fighting strategic in interesting ways, and also complex in ways that are maybe good, and in some ways not so good. And allow me to fully explain as I go blockade like a champion over here. Like a god tier champion. Actually, I'd be truly god tier. With one T1 troop, I could blockade these suckers. Boom! Hope you didn't want to go somewhere, buddy, because you're stuck! And again, this is not coordinated. This is just like, it happens so often. Like, it's just so easy to blockade and wreck somebody. So, he's trying to barb, and I'm just stopped him. Gotcha! It's funny. It's actually hilarious. Okay, I'll let him through. Now, look. This mechanic adds strategic depth. You can't just, like, run into an enemy behind or through them. You have to actually clear the enemy in front of you. That I think is actually cool. If you strategically surround somebody, think about this. They can't run away. If these were my allies over here and I brought 5 marches up on this guy from behind, heyo, he's not getting away because he literally can't walk through me. He'd have to fight me. You can do strategic maneuvers in this KvK that absolutely demolish your enemy in a way that's cool, man. It's actually kind of cool that you can do these things. But it gets weird. As you saw in the beginning, your troops also can stop a rally. Now, blockading is not something you turn on or off. It's active all the time. You always blockade. Always. You block in this version of KvK, okay? But you can even stop a rally, which gets really crazy. Now, do you really want to be stopping a rally in the open field with your 310,000 or 430,000 troops as a whale against the 2 to 3 million in the rally? I'm going to say obviously not. You're going to get pwned. But in some instances, actually, that could be pretty good. But the more significant thing is, as I also showed you in the beginning, if you surround somebody's city, they ain't going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. So does that mean if enemy was all through this area that I could not city hop to go and reinforce this flag? And I think the answer is probably not. So KvK works way differently here. Owning the open field is God tier. It's not just the meta. It's the way. It's God tier. You must have field. If you can't get field, everything you own is going to burn. Because if an enemy surrounds a flag, you will literally be blockaded. You will physically be unable to enter the structure. Now, you can fight your way through. I'm not saying you can't fight your way in. I'm saying this is why you have to have the field. Because gone will be the days, in this version of KvK anyways, where you can, in your downtime, creep your way into a flag by jumping city to city to city and hold your territory. When your kingdom goes into downtime and you lose the field, you lose all your territory. Which means in this version of KvK, forts are more important, not less important, because you need that cushion of time, baby. You need that cushion of time to survive your downtime, because when it's your downtime, you lose it all, baby. You're going to lose all the flags. I mean, assuming the enemy has the flag building capability. They need resources. You need lots of shells, collecting those resources. But if somebody tried to get to this flag, like I've basically blockaded this flag. Like, you're not able to reinforce this flag realistically. And when I tap my march, as you can see here, you can see the whole base of the unit. The base of the unit is that inside gray circle, not the dotted spinny one, but the one inside of it. You've seen this before. You just didn't realize you've seen the blockade base of a unit. When you try to teleport and someone's units are there, you know how you, like, I'll show you. It sort of gives you that little red template of like, hey, there's like these units that are blocking you from teleporting there. That's the base. If anything the enemy would do would touch that base, if you're in aggressive, you're going to fight. If you're in peaceful, you're not going to fight. You're just going to block them, right? So let me show you some troops somewhere. Here's troops. Obviously, I can't teleport here because we don't have territory, but it'll illustrate the point. Okay, all my troops are home. And you see the little base? Do it again. Okay, zoom me out. I'm not happy about that. You see the base of these troops? I'm actually on top of a resource node or something too there. You see, okay, this one trooper's got a really small base. You see that? Itty bitty base. Maybe in the video I'll zoom in so you can see it better. You won't see my beautiful face, but you'll see the little area blocked by, like, see the area blocked by a barb, the area blocked by troops. Those troops will physically stop your movement. This is really, really obviously very significant. Oh, sucker got blockaded. Get wrecked, nerds. Dude, they're blockaded. They were minding their own business, just trying to walk from point A to point B within their own war camp, and they straight pwned. Now, that particular one's got an itty-bitty base. Must be a small march, right? But you can see with friendly marches too, right? Bigger base. Bigger march, bigger base. So you could do it with one troop, but obviously more troops the better. And if they're in aggressive mode, then one troop's not going to work all that well. But if you thought those shenanigans were enough, the fact that you can physically block a rally, the fact that you can physically block people from reinforcing a flag, the fact that you can physically block people from even leaving their city without having to fight their way through your troops, by the way, which I also showed you at the beginning, there are some other things like what happens if a counter rally launches and you're able to launch it at an angle such that it would physically block the rally from arriving to its destination, guess what? The rallies will fight. Not even kidding. Straight up, the rallies start duking it out. The folks in 1075 sent me a message that they tested this. This is true. The rallies will block each other and start fighting each other if you can time it. Now, that's hard to do because, obviously, in most cases, you're not marching that far. But if someone were to, let's say, in this version of KvK, it's this version of KvK only. If someone were to, rally my city, theoretically, you know, depending on the angle of attack and how far away they were, let's say the enemy was all the way up over here, right? Theoretically, if they were rallying on this angle of attack to my city, you could have somebody teleported behind my city at the exact same angle, try to launch a counter rally that would catch their rally on its way over, and the rallies would then duke it out, bro. I think that actually the possibilities here are cool, but there are issues, obviously, in the details of the execution. I think that something that needs to be addressed is that although your coalition obviously expands as your KvK proceeds and you get more room for alliances within the same coalition, I think that your entire war camp probably should just be all blue. And this is how it probably should be anyways, just like all the time. But that's really a separate matter, and if somebody's rogue, I don't know, it gets weird. But without getting into whether or not everybody should count as an ally, and the whole argument behind that, I will say in this version of KvK, where blockading is an issue, and if I scouted a bridge, my God, man, the blockading in a bridge from one troop just blocking the whole thing is actually just kind of nuts. And there's even some really interesting stuff where, I'll see if I can find the footage, but in the live stream that I did, and I'll have a card up in the top where you can see me explore this, you can see me explore the siege commanders, the whole 9 yards from this KvK. But what we did is we had somebody make a funnel with his troops. So basically, I attacked this barb, and he put his blockading troops here and here. And you know how when you hit a barb, all the troops fan out? You've done this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They fan out. They spread out. My troops didn't fan out. They just stayed funneled in. So, he was blockading on the left and the right. I attacked dead on, and every one of my troops stayed dead on, straight on, locked onto the barb, which matters because it sure is nice, actually, in KvK to not have your troops swing around into the enemy's backline, and then you're like, bro, I didn't want my troop to die. I want to use 7 marches, obviously, but I don't want my, 6th and 7th march to be absolutely catastrophically moronic and, swing all the way around. Or even if you just attack with a bunch of friends against the same thing, right? You've all had this happen to you at some point if you open field, where your march, you're attacking it, and then somebody else joins, and you swing around and swing around and swing around, and now your little, portrait is sticking out way into the enemy line, and you're, the obvious target, and it's I'm gonna die now. This problem is solved because your troops don't swing around in this new version of KvK. Now, I don't think you will switch targets when you try to swing around. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think you'll stay locked on to what you told yourself to attack. You just will be blockaded and not be physically able to go past what the game would normally have swung you past. My goodness. So blockading, I think, has a lot of strategic potential. I think the strategic potential could be cool, but I am very concerned about what happens in your downtime. And I think that a lot of things also potentially break with regard to your ability to defend territory if you don't own the open field. So, and look, for those of you that thought that open field fighting might have been a waste of resources, it's definitely not in this KvK, because be prepared. If you enter the Heroic Anthem power-up version of KvK, I have a couple predictions for you. First of all, I think less troops are going to die. Way less troops are going to die because you just can't slug it out in the same way that you can. The team that has the field is going to make it so that you can't reinforce, and then the things are just going to burn. You're not going to lose as many troops, I think, in this version of KvK because you simply cannot. I also think that you're going to spend way more resources. Well, maybe not even way more resources. I mean, honestly, I think fights will be decisive. You either take field and you win, or you can't and you lose. And I actually think it's just going to be really, really one-sided, which is not necessarily a bad thing if what you care about is not losing all your troops and resources in a KvK. But if you want to do lots of fighting, I don't know how it's going to go here. But subscribe if you haven't already so that you don't miss all of the fighting that happens in this Heroic Anthem power-up version of KvK, I will show it because I'm actually in it. And I will play in this KvK because I get 2 expertise siege commanders where I can make a freaking tower with my siege units and shoot stuff. And I'm going to do that. And at 35 million power, damn it, I'm going to make a contribution. Or I'll see if it's even possible and let you know. So subscribe so you don't miss that. And if you enjoyed this video, throw a like on here. And if you've got any other thoughts about how to use blockades, I want to know down below in the comments. I'm very interested in your thoughts here because this is an exercise in creativity and understanding like, wait, you could do what now? Because let me tell you, when they first said, oh, there's blockading in this version of KvK, you can stop moving. I didn't think, oh, well, you surround the flag and they literally can't reinforce a flag. I didn't think, oh, you surround a city and they literally can't leave their city without having to fight their way through, right? Those are not things that came to mind. But once you start to really put these ideas through their paces in this version of KvK, it gets sort of messy. And I'm eager to see that mess unfold. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And the reason this video didn't come sooner, even though I streamed this a day ago, 2 days ago, is that I'm fighting right now on my restart account. So you probably want to check that out. Card will be up in the top for the pass opening on my restart where there's no blockades. You can see how that goes. And you can also start to think like, wait a minute, if there were blockades here, what would happen? As an example, we took a pass. We were rallying cities. We had no field control. In this version of KvK, if the enemy was behind the pass area, right, and you own the pass, I actually don't have a pass scouted here, and you were rallying cities, all of those city rallies would first hit the open field marches. There's just a lot to explore, and we'll do that all together. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.